Hey sis, I know it's been over 3 years since we last spoke, but I need a favor, so I'm just gonna come right out with it. You absolutely must come to mine and Valentino's wedding. Huh? Cassia, is that you? I'll send you the details later on, but for now, it's gonna be held at the Velvet Unicorn Hotel in Washington. I don't know your address, so just think of these messages as your wedding invite, okay? Why the heck would I come to your wedding, Cassia? This makes no sense. You seem to be forgetting that Valentino is my ex-husband. Why would I go to the wedding of the scumbag who cheated on me and watch him get married to the woman he cheated on me with? I'd rather have nothing to do with either of you for as long as I live, thanks. Honestly, how is it even possible that you think this is an acceptable thing to ask me? Are you doing it on purpose to try and upset me, or are you actually this dumb? Blah, blah, blah. When are you gonna stop crying over spilled milk, sis? Forget all that and come to the wedding. No way. Quit being so selfish and be happy for your baby sister. I know you know Mom and Dad aren't coming, which means if you don't come, none of my family will be there to watch me get married. Would you really do that to me? Would ya? Sure, I know that. I just don't get why you think trying to play on the fact we happen to be sisters would get me to come to your wedding despite the fact that I clearly despise you. Well, you're my sister, so I'm obviously gonna mention that you're my sister. God, you're annoying. If you don't come, the seats in the area for my family will be totally empty, which means you are most definitely absolutely coming, and that's that. I won't take no for an answer, so quit arguing and accept it already. Why am I only part of your family when it suits you? Toodles! I see you're just as stubborn and arrogant as ever. I'd have to be out of my mind to go to your wedding. Indigo, what are you doing? Where are you? Hurry up and get your ass to the wedding. Me and Valentino were struggling to get enough family members to come as it is. The last thing we need is you going all no-show on us at the last minute. People are going to think both of our families hate us if you don't come and fill the seat we prepared for you. Look, sis, I'm serious. You have to come. Hurry up and get to this hotel now.
Oi, Indigo! Hey, I can see you read my message.
Oh, hey, Valentino. It's been a while.
I'm pleased to see you didn't block me. I know I might be your ex-husband, but that would just be childish.
Actually, I did have you blocked until Cassia started harping on me about how I had to attend your guys' wedding. I had a feeling you might try reaching out to me, so I unblocked you just in case. I could have just blocked you both, but I figured if I did that, she might start bugging my friends to try and track down my address or pull some other crazy shenanigans. I can assure you I'll be blocking you again as soon as I determine your insane fiancé poses no threat of causing a nuisance to my friends.
Threat? Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, forget that crap. All that matters is that we can message each other.
Did you want something?
Do I seriously have to spell it out? I think you know why I'm here. Me and Cassia are getting married today. We prepared you a seat in the family area, so if you don't come and fill it, we're gonna look stupid. This isn't the time for messing around, okay, Indigo? You owe this to your baby sister. I get that you're probably still not over me and that every day without me in your life must be a struggle, but that doesn't mean your baby sister deserves to get married without a single family member there to see it. Surely you can forget your petty jealousy and quit holding a grudge for just one day? This is supposed to be the happiest day of your sister's life, damn it!
2 corrections.
Huh?
Firstly, the idea that I'm still not over you is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Far from every day without you being a struggle, I feel blessed that you're no longer a part of my life, and honestly, felt like vomiting when I saw you pop up in my inbox.
What?
Secondly, my sister only has herself to blame for the fact that I have no interest in being there for her wedding. Why would you ask me to come and play happy families after what you did to me? Me and her are essentially strangers now, so I'd be nothing more than an actress, and an unpaid one at that.
Huh? Strangers? How could you be strangers? You're sisters, for crying out loud.
You don't seem to understand what I'm saying, do you? Wait, didn't she tell you?
Quit talking crap and get your ass down to this wedding at once!
Indigo, how could you do this to me? You're horrible. All of the family seats at the wedding were empty. I could hear everyone whispering about me, and it's all your fault. Are you really bothering me with this again? Seriously? Who bails out of their beloved baby sister's wedding at the last minute? You're sick in the head. To think you were the only family member I invited, you're horrible. Huh? Baby sister? But I'm an only child. Huh? An only child? What are you talking about? Wow, you genuinely don't know, do you? At first I thought you were just being intentionally obtuse or were too stupid to understand what I was saying. But you really don't know, do you? Did Dad never say anything to you before he died? Are you going to make a point? Unless you're going to explain why you think it was acceptable to bail out of my wedding at the last minute, I'm not interested in listening to your rambling. Well, let me start from the end and save us both a bunch of time. We're not blood related. Huh? What the hell? What are you talking about? That can't be. Wow, they genuinely never told you anything, did they? Dad said he was going to tell you once you turned 20. Good grief. Explain now. Sure thing. Let me start by telling you this. You're Mom and Dad's real daughter, and I was adopted. Adopted? Mom and Dad were having trouble conceiving and were just about ready to give up on having children of their own when they came to the orphanage I lived at. After visiting me for a few weeks, they decided to adopt me. Then, 2 years later, as if by a miracle, Mom got pregnant with you. That's why Mom and Dad always had a tendency to play favorites with you while leaving me to my own devices and doing the bare minimum when it came to looking after me. So between that and the fact they kicked me out 10 years later as soon as I hit 18, I had the adoption scrapped and I officially became parentless. I haven't had a family ever since. Basically, I'm not your sister and I never really have been. You're not my sister? Didn't you think it was strange when I didn't go to Mom and Dad's funeral when they died 5 years ago? Your Mom and Dad, I should say. Like hell, I was going to mourn them when they barely even bothered to raise me. Any relationship I had with you, with any of you, ended the moment I had the adoption scrapped on my 18th birthday. Ever since that day, me and you have been nothing but strangers, and that's how I intend to keep it. You have no idea how great it felt to know I'd never have to face the loneliness and isolation I suffered in that house with you all on the day I left. It was like this huge storm cloud that had been hanging over me evaporated in an instant. Oh my God! Which is why it felt like being punched in the gut when you suddenly showed up again that day 3 years ago declaring you'd stolen my husband before receiving the news Valentino was divorcing me. I spent every waking hour of the whole 4 months we spent going through the divorce proceedings wondering what I'd done to deserve it. My head was a mess, I was barely sleeping, I lost my appetite, and it felt like my entire world had been flip-turned upside down. Then, with the divorce over and done with, I finally pulled myself together again, determined to make the most of my fresh start. Now, 3 years later, at a point when I finally feel truly satisfied and fulfilled in my life, you show up out of the blue demanding I come to your wedding to pretend to be your sister so people don't think your family hates you. I thought Dad would have told you the truth on your 20th birthday, so when you first messaged me, I was like, what the hell? Why would she invite me as family when we're not even related? I came so close to blocking you right then and there, but I know what you're like, and I thought you might try to bug my friends to get through to me. But I didn't know we weren't related by blood. I thought you were my real sister. Yes, it would appear so. I have no idea why Dad didn't tell you like he said he would, and I guess we'll never know now. Unfortunately, that meant I had no choice but to tell you the truth myself. He's still causing me hassle from beyond the grave, huh? It's kind of ironic when you think about it. I can't blame you for not knowing, and I don't hold that part against you, but I hope you understand this means that me and you are done once and for all, Cassia. So, if we're not blood related... Right, your mom and dad were both only children, and none of your aunts and uncles are with us anymore. I guess if you really tried, I don't know, maybe by using one of those family history tracking sites or something, you could probably find a distant relative, but you'd still be total strangers, and I doubt they'd go out of their way to come to your wedding on such short notice just to fill a frickin' seat. Oh my God, you're right, I have no one! There isn't a soul left in the world I can call family! I have nothing further to say. We are done here. Indigo, no! Goodbye. Indigo, are you there? Where are you? I need to know where you are, like, right now. Huh? Why are you messaging me again? Listen, me and Valentino got a divorce. Jesus, seriously? But it's barely been a week since you got married. I know that, but all that jerk was after my mom and dad's inheritance money all along. What? I don't know why, but he was convinced I inherited a bunch of money when they died 5 years back. It's like he had this wild idea stuck in his head, and no matter how many times I tried to set the record straight, he just wouldn't let it go. It got so ridiculous, I thought he was joking. But why would he think that? They were never particularly well off. I mean, they weren't poor either, but we hardly lived in the kind of house that wealthy people live in, and there were certainly no Ferraris in the driveway. Right, they did say they had a little more financial freedom after they kicked you out, but still, we were just an average middle-income household. It's not like they suddenly got rich after you left or anything. Nothing changed, and yet that asshole was dead set on them being secret millionaires or something. Actually, there was some inheritance, but it wasn't much. Really? I see. But no matter how many times I told him, he wouldn't believe me. He was convinced I'd inherited a bunch of money. The day after we got married, he said he was buying a new house and a Lamborghini and demanded I give him the money. Can you believe it? I mean, talk about jumping the gun. It was like he had this whole extravagant plan mapped out in his head before we'd even been married 5 damn minutes. When I asked what the hell he was talking about, he yelled at me. I know how much you inherited from your parents. Quit being such a goddamn tightwad. When I told him I didn't inherit enough to buy the new house and car, he flipped out, and so we got into a huge fight, and well, to cut a long story short, we got a divorce. Wow. Anyway, so that's what happened, which is why I was thinking of coming over to your place to live with you. Wow, are you kidding? There's no way that's gonna happen. I mean, it's literally impossible. Why? Oh, nothing's impossible if you try, Indigo. We're both totally alone now, right? It's not like we'd be staying together as sisters or anything. Just think of it as a room share type arrangement. Go on, sis. You know how convenient it would be. We could even start splitting the bills once I start making some money. That's not why it's impossible. It's impossible because I'm not in America anymore. Huh? I came to Malaysia on a work transfer. Initially, it was only supposed to be a 5-year stay. But I met a guy here. One thing led to another, and, well, we fell in love. I converted to Islam, and now we have 3 kids together. I'm gonna be in Malaysia for the rest of my life, Cassia. Oh my god, what the hell? No way! I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I ended up crazy sleep-deprived after dealing with your messages when you woke me up in the middle of the night on the day of your wedding. Time zones can be a bitch. Oh my god, so you don't even live here anymore? Oh, this is bad, bad, bad. But this means I'm totally alone without a soul in the world to rely on. Oh my god, this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, what is it? I have no one to turn to, no one to lean on for support, no one I can even call a friend. Listen, Cassia, I'm not gonna pretend that doesn't totally suck for you, because it does. But even if I was still living in America, there's still no way I'd do a room share with you. Heck, you couldn't even pay me to. What? Why not? Do I seriously need to spell it out? Duh, I'm asking because I don't understand. I guess it's not such a surprise that someone with a tendency for destroying people's lives by stealing their husbands would also be totally lacking in self-awareness. Huh? What does that mean? Explaining it would be pointless. You have to think about this by yourself. Anyway, I think we're done here. We are? We're walking along different paths, Cassia. Shall we just call it a day here? There's nothing to be gained from dragging this out a second longer. But you're my big sister. No, I'm really not. Indigo! Goodbye, my ex-sister.
Indigo, are you there? Let's get married again. I've been doing some serious soul searching, and I think I'm ready to give things between us another shot. So what do you say, babe? Shall we reignite that old flame and dive back into our sweet love adventure together? You see, babe, life's just not the same without you by my side, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right between us. Me and Cassia got a divorce.
I live in Malaysia now, so I can't. Sorry.
Malaysia?
I'm here on a work transfer. I'm also married with 3 kids, so I'm probably going to be spending the rest of my life here, which is why the whole remarriage thing is going to be, difficult.
What? What the hell am I reading?
I heard about the divorce from Cassia, and I'm pretty sure I more or less know how it went down.
You did?
Yep. So I'm sorry, hon, but this ain't gonna happen how you thought it would.
Indigo!
Kindly never message me again for the rest of your life. Thanks. After that, I received a series of updates on the whole Cassia and Valentino situation from an old friend back in the States. Apparently, the whole thing started to disintegrate when Valentino quit his job, thinking he was set for life, having just married a woman in possession of lavish amounts of inheritance money. Of course, me and you know that money never existed, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that hopelessly deluded serial cheater's world fell apart when he found out. Last I heard, he currently spends his days desperately looking for a job while the deadline on his overdue rent payments looms ever closer. As for my ex-sister Cassia, it turns out she was hoping Valentino would provide for her for the rest of her life, because she quit her job as soon as they started dating. Kinda ironic how they were both after each other for the same thing, huh? I heard from an old friend that they regularly bump into each other at the job center. And every time they do, security have to be called to separate their vicious fights, and more often than not, the cops end up being called. As my friend puts it, I don't see why they don't just stop being stubborn and go to a different job center. To be fair, she has a point. If they were genuinely done with each other, they'd stop, but I guess it really is like they say, misery loves company. These are just some of the philosophic musings I indulge in while reading my book, drinking my coffee, and eating scones out on the sun lounger in my backyard in the scorching Malaysian heat.
Oi, Pip, you goddamn useless moron, what do you think you're playing at? Just because you're my wife doesn't mean you get to act like this. Where the heck did you go?
Jesus Christ, Casey, when are you going to stop speaking to me like this? You have the charm of an octopus. I'm in my room, if you must know. I'm sorry, but I didn't make any supper tonight.
Huh? What did you just say? You mean I have to cook my own supper again? You left all your dirty pots in the sink this morning, too, didn't you? And that's not all. You don't even come to the front door to greet me when I get home from a long, exhausting day at work. What the hell kind of wife are you? You're a failure as a woman.
I'm really sorry, Casey. My stomach feels so heavy these days, and it's hard to move around.
Oh, look, here we go again, using the pregnancy as an excuse, just like you always do, huh?
I'm only 1 month out. Are you really gonna hold this against me? I don't see how this is my fault.
You treat pregnancy like it's a goddamn illness. So what, you got a baby inside you. Want a medal? Being pregnant is not an excuse to get out of fulfilling your womanly duties to me, the man of this house. What's it gonna take for you to understand?
I never said pregnancy was an illness, Casey, but at the same time, it can be pretty damn debilitating. I mean, I am twice the size I was 8 months ago.
How dare you? Do not answer me back. I'll get my sister to make me some supper over at my folks' house. You pathetic excuse for a wife.
Fine.
Fine? Fine. That is no way to talk to your husband and the man of this house. The correct response is, yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir. And don't you forget it. Not only have you completely stopped doing the housework ever since you got pregnant, you've also turned into such a goddamn lard ass it'd probably take a crane to get you out of the house. You're supposed to be my wife, but you don't even turn me on anymore. You think having my baby holed up in there gives you the right to treat me however you want, don't you? God damn, it really is true what they say. Women become the most arrogant creatures on earth the moment they get a bun in the oven. Damn, my buddies had always warned me, but I never thought I'd actually experience it for real. You make me sick.
Hey, Casey, how's my favorite big brother doing today? I just got done cooking breakfast. Do you want to head over and chow down?
Sup, Carla? You're the best. I was literally just about to message you to see if you had anything frying. Man, I'm starved.
I thought you might be. Damn. So that means she didn't make you any breakfast again? Pip is really slacking on her housework duties these days. It's just like you said.
No kidding. Looks like the lazy bitch finally washed the pots after she ate breakfast this morning and laid my work clothes ironed out and ready on the sofa after I called her out on her laziness yesterday. But I still ain't happy. That useless good-for-nothing didn't even polish my shoes. Can you believe she didn't even cook me any breakfast? Man, I don't even know why I married this woman. Imagine not even being able to do the basics.
Right? I don't know who she thinks she is. She must be one of those pregnant women who thinks the world should bend over backwards for her the moment the sperm hits the egg.
You know, Carla, I think you might be right. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna put my slacks on and head over. See you soon, sis.
All right, cool. I'll be waiting with your breakfast.
God damn it, are you serious? You didn't come to greet me when I came home from work again! What's all this crap on the living room floor? The house is a mess! And where's my supper? God damn, woman, my patience with you is about to reach its limits. You're walking on thin ice, I tell you. Thin ice.
Welcome home, Casey.
That ain't good enough. I want to see you rush over to greet me with a smile the second I walk through the front door. When I come home, it should be like God himself arrived.
I'm so sorry, Casey, but I really can't do everything like I used to before I got pregnant. I do as much of the housework as I can when I'm able to move, but a lot of the time, it's hard to even get out of bed. Won't you just give me a break, please?
God damn it. I'll have to head over to my folks' place again tonight for my sis to cook me supper. But don't think I'm letting you get away with this, woman. You're in trouble now. Big trouble. Hey, Carla. Sorry to trouble you so late again.
It's fine, silly. Besides, when did you ever apologize for anything? I had a feeling this would happen again, so I made enough food for a small army.
Now that's my sister. I sure as heck wish that goddamn useless wife of mine would learn a thing or two from you. If she took a leaf out of your book, I'd never go hungry again. At this rate, I'm worried if she'll even be able to do her job as a mom. If she can't make my supper, welcome me home from work, or massage my feet on time, how the hell is she gonna raise a kid? Not only that, but she turned into a big fat pig ever since she stopped doing housework. I swear she's always either on the sofa or in bed stuffing her face. I'm eating for two, she says. To what, whales? I get that women's bellies get a little bigger when they get pregnant, but hers looks like a frickin' hot air balloon. And not only that, but her belly ain't the only place the rolls are appearing. I'm worried we're gonna need a crane to move her soon. She used to be so hot, and her style was great. I mean, I liked the girl enough to want to marry her, for crying out loud. But now, I could take a truckload of Viagra and it still wouldn't get me in the mood for porking that ham beast. I have no choice. I'm gonna have to force her to start going to the gym after the baby's born.
Hey, Casey, just a little suggestion.
What is it?
Isn't it time you taught that unruly wife of yours a lesson?
Huh?
Isn't it time you showed her how sick and tired you are of her behavior with action instead of words? She obviously has no intention of doing what you tell her, so isn't it time you held her feet to the fire? She'll start thinking you're all bark and no bite if you don't back up the things you say.
Damn, I think you might be right. Did you have something in mind?
Well, I kinda did, actually. You're angry with her because she's constantly lazing around and barely lifts a finger around the house, right? So why not introduce penalties for her not doing her chores? You know, like forcing her to jog around the block for not vacuuming or forcing her to do 500 push-ups for not washing the dishes. I think you get the gist. Dad did always say a good training routine is the best way to keep a woman in check.
Oh my God. Carla, you're a genius. You know what? It's my day off work tomorrow, so I'm gonna go give her first little penalty right now. Thanks, sis. You're the best.
Huh? Like, right now? Casey, what is going on? This isn't fair. Why did you bundle me into the truck and dump me out here in the middle of nowhere? Why would you dump me out in the mountains like this? There are frickin' bears and mountain lions out here, and it's pitch black. I can't see a frickin' thing. You do know I'm 8 months pregnant, don't you?
I left you there precisely because I know, you goddamn bird brain.
Huh?
It might not feel like it, but I'm doing this out of love. I only want what's best for you, babe. You've turned into such a degenerate lard beast lately, you barely even deserve to be a mother anymore. I knew that if I didn't take drastic action, you'd reach the point of no return, and I'd have to leave you. It was either this or divorce. This is my way of redisciplining you as your husband and the master of the household.
Redisciplining me?
Now listen up. First of all, I want you to walk home from the top of that mountain.
What?
Quit acting like an invalid, babe. You used to be on the track and field team back in high school, and you could run with the best of them. If you can pluck up the courage to actually start moving, I'm sure this is going to be a walk in the park.
What are you talking about? Are you serious?
I'm as serious as a serious guy. Oh, and don't even think for 1 second about trying to call for help. I went out of my way to think of this training regimen, so you better not screw it up. If you call for help, we're getting a divorce. All right, I just got home. I'm waiting for you, babe. It's nice and warm, and I have potato chips. You can do this.
Oh my God, Casey. This isn't normal behavior. What the hell's gotten into you? I barely recognize you anymore. You are not the man I married.
Hey, Carla, good morning. Sorry to spring this on you again on such short notice, but you think maybe I could get some breakfast again this morning? I just woke up.
Sure, I guess I don't mind. By the way, where did you go last night? You bundled Pip into the truck and drove off somewhere after we stopped messaging, didn't you? I could see you from my bedroom window.
Yep, I took her somewhere isolated for a little training after your genius suggestion inspired me.
Wow, are you kidding? You went out literally straight after I sent the message? In the middle of the night?
Sure, of course I did. There's no time like the present. I told the worthless fat pig I was tossing her in the garbage where she belongs and abandoned her at the side of the road on the peak of the highest mountain in Colorado.
Wow. Now that's my brother, a man of his word. You have to respect a guy who's not afraid to take action.
Well, something had to be done. You know, the mountains are way further than I thought they were. You look on Google Maps and it's just a few centimeters of space. But when you actually go out and drive it for real, man, you have no idea how tired I was when I got back to the house at 3 a.m. I think I might have to go for a second round of sleep after breakfast. Hey, Pip, what the heck are you playing at? How have you still not made it home? How long do you think it's been since I dumped you on that mountain? I'll bet you're taking so long 'cause you get out of breath every 5 minutes from being so fat. Is that it? Or are you just being lazy? Gah, you really are useless. I should have given you a time limit. Is it too late to add one now? I mean, I make the rules, so I guess I could. All right, you have to make it back home in the next hour. If you go over, even by 1 second, I'll take you straight back up the mountain tomorrow, and you can redo it.
Casey, where are you right now?
Huh? A few of my buddies invited me out drinking, and we're out bar hopping in town right now. Why?
You need to get back to the house right now.
Can't it wait till tomorrow? I came out tonight fully intending to vent about my bitch wife while getting blackout drunk by knocking back copious amounts of beer with the boys until the early hours.
This isn't the time for that. You have to come home. Jeffrey Bigglesworth, the president of Dad's company, just stormed into our house with the most menacing look on his face.
Huh? Dad's company president? What the hell does he want?
Dad just got fired because you abandoned your heavily pregnant wife on a mountaintop in the middle of the night.
What? Why the hell would the president of Dad's company be involved in my and my wife's private affairs? This makes no sense.
I don't understand very well either, but the bottom line is you need to come home right now.
What the hell is going on there? Pip, what in the goddamn Lord's name is going on here? Why would you divorce me like this all of a sudden? I know our baby was born too, bitch. Why didn't you tell me? Why did I have to find out through ringing the hospital, goddamn ya?
Do you really still not understand why all of this is happening, Casey? Did Dad's CEO, Jeff's explanation, not clear up all the confusion, or do you need me to spell it out like you're a 6-year-old?
I understand why you might be slightly pissed off with me, but I have no idea why any of this means my dad would get fired.
Okay, allow me to explain exactly what happened that day. I reached out to an old friend for help after you abandoned me on that mountaintop in the middle of the night. Jeff, Dad's company president, is my friend's husband. They say every cloud has a silver lining, and he was mine. It turns out my friend and Jeff live pretty close to the mountain you dumped me on. They rushed out as quickly as they could when I told them what had happened. But while I was waiting, my water broke and I started going into labor. They rushed me to the maternity hospital as soon as they found me, and thankfully I made it in time.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. How come no one told me about any of this?
Because I asked my friend and your dad's boss not to say anything to you and requested that they contact no one except my family.
What? But why? I'm your husband. I should have been the first person you contacted.
Why would I contact you when you're the one who abandoned me on a mountain in the middle of the night while I was heavily pregnant in the name of discipline? I can't trust you, and quite frankly, the thought of allowing you anywhere near my baby is frankly quite terrifying. Like hell I was gonna let you be there for the birth.
Oh my God. But still, don't you think divorce is overdoing it a little? I mean, geez, talk about overreacting. Can't we just talk this through like mature, responsible adults before making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment? Don't throw away what we have.
Actually, Casey, you told me you'd divorce me if I asked anyone for help when you dumped me on the mountain, so I'm just following through on your promise. Congrats, you got what you wanted. I failed the task, and I am clearly still just as undisciplined as ever, right? I called my friend, so divorce is the only option.
No! Well, I didn't quite mean it like that.
Sure you did. I'm leaving the rest to my lawyer. If you have anything else to say to me from now on, it goes through him.
Your lawyer? No way! You've got to be kidding me!
I never want to see you, your sister, or your dad again for as long as I live.
But why?
You have the comprehension skills of a sack of potatoes. How do you still not get it?
Quit trying to be clever and just explain what you mean.
This is exactly the problem.
What is?
I won't be coming home again. I am taking our son, and we're going to live with my parents out in the country. I'll arrange for someone to come and pick up my belongings and bring them out to us. So make sure you don't touch any of my stuff. I want everything left exactly as it is.
Pip! Carla, you fool, what have you done? It looks like Pip is about to divorce me because of you.
What? Because of me?
If you didn't make that dumb suggestion to teach Pip a lesson by abandoning her on the top of a mountain, none of this crap would be happening.
Don't put words in my mouth, asshole. That is not what I said. All I did was suggest you start imposing minor penalties if she kept giving you problems by making her walk short distances to your house every now and then. I did not tell you to make her start from the top of a frickin' mountain in the middle of the night.
Well, those two things are pretty similar.
Bullshit, they couldn't be more different. Anyway, Dad got fired because of your moronic behavior. How are you gonna make this right, Casey? And how did Dad even get involved in this anyway?
Apparently, Dad's company president is Pip's friend's husband. The friend she called to pick her up from the mountain after I left her there.
What?
Dad was in full agreement on your suggestion to teach Pip a little lesson, right? That went for the whole mountain thing, too. He seemed to be on board with the idea, right? He knows how important it is to keep a bitch in line, and if he wanted to stop me, he coulda easily. He told me how we always used to shoot the shit with some of the guys at work about how modern men are becoming weak and have let women get out of control. He said it was time for society to take the red pill. The problem is Dad's company sells childcare supplies, and Jeff, the CEO, thought that if any of this got out, his company's image would totally be destroyed. Apparently, Dad had already been warned 7 times at work for making offensive remarks about women, and this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh my God, seriously?
And he's not the only one. I got fired too. You see, Pip used to work at our company and she knows like half the staff. I think that might be why when I went back, everyone was super cold and hostile towards me. God damn it, what are you gonna do to fix this, Carla? What was I supposed to have done? I just wanted to discipline my wife, god damn it.
While me and Casey were married, I never had a mother-in-law. Apparently, his mom passed away when he was 8 from a terminal illness, and ever since, he and his sister were raised by their single dad. Based on the stories Casey told me, his mom sounded super kind, caring, and compassionate. I wonder if she hadn't fallen ill, whether things would have turned out differently between us. While thinking about the possibility in the back of my mind, I focused on getting the divorce proceedings over and done with, and within a month, I was once again newly single with a freshly deposited wad of compensation and child support money in my bank account. As for what happened to my ex-husband and his family after that, apparently all of them got laid off at the same time and are still struggling to find work. I got almost 2 identical messages the other day from Casey and his sister Carla, both begging for money in pathetic desperation. Needless to say, they weren't getting a cent out of me, so I requested they take all further contact through my lawyer before blocking them and taking another sip of my pumpkin latte. I'm thinking of changing my number soon too, just in case. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Did you think Casey got what he deserved? We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you next time.
Yo, Vicky! Today's the day my work transfer finally ends. It's gonna suck so bad leaving you behind here. I never expected to meet anyone while I was out here, let alone us ending up pretty much living together. Life can surprise you like that sometimes, huh?
Tyrone, I'm gonna be lonely without you too, baby. Do you really have to go back to live with your wife? I know she's waiting for you, but I'd rather keep you all to myself.
Unfortunately, babe, yes I do. My boss told me I'd only be staying here for a year, and they want me back at HQ tomorrow, so there really ain't much I can do about it.
I see. I doubt we'll be able to see each other much once you go home. We will still be able to see each other sometimes, won't we, sweetie pie?
Listen, babe, it sucks for me too, but to tell you the absolute truth, I honestly don't know. If my work transfer ended up getting extended, my wife said she planned on selling the house in Wyoming and moving up here to live with me.
I see. Well, that reminds me, didn't you say your wife is a pharmacist? This is just a hunch, but I bet she wouldn't have to look very hard to find a job up here. The thing is, if she came here, we really would never be able to see each other. We'd constantly be tiptoeing around, worried about being found out.
Right, that's why I think it's best I just go home and carry on playing happy families just like normal. At least for the time being. Don't get me wrong, babe, it completely sucks that we're not going to be able to see each other, but we need to think carefully about how we play this and not do anything rash.
You're right. I can't argue with that.
Don't worry, Vicky. My heart's set on you and ain't nothing going to change that. I know it's not going to be easy for us to be apart, but I want you to believe in me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can. I'm waiting for you, Tyrone. Hi, Tyrone, are you there? You're supposed to be getting back soon, right? Did your train leave on time?
Oh, it's you. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I'm on the train as we speak. There were some delays early on. Apparently some suicidal lunatic jumped out onto the tracks and, well, yeah. Also, I'm gonna stop off at Company HQ to see Chris and the boss before heading home.
Damn, that's gruesome. I always wonder why suicidal folk do that. Like, could they not do it somewhere that doesn't mess with everyone's schedules and traumatize the train driver? All right, no problem. I can't believe the day has finally come. You were up in Michigan a whole year. How crazy is that? I know we've been doing lots of video calls, but is it weird I feel kind of nervous about seeing you again? I thought you'd at least come back for birthdays and Christmas, but I guess that turned out to be a little difficult for you.
You're really gonna drag this up again? What's your point?
I'm not trying to drag anything up. I guess it just hit me how busy you actually were when you decided not to come back for special occasions like you said you would. You were even too worn out for me to fly over to you, even though I would have been happy to. You specifically told me not to come because you weren't feeling up to it, right? You really must have been seriously busy this last year. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I find your work ethic really admirable, Tyrone.
Yeah, I guess I have been busy. Thanks.
Okay, well, be careful on the way home, sweetie. I'll see you soon. Tyrone, my delightful, precious sugar dumpling. I can't take the loneliness. I need you here in my arms.
Vicky, my sweet treacle muffin, my sugary pumpkin pie, my darling angel, my dearest love. The ache of loneliness weighs upon my heart like 1,000 burdensome clouds, casting shadows upon the tender garden of my soul. If only I knew how good we had it when I was up there for my work transfer. Who would have thought having a home to go back to could feel so painful and lonely? I might be in this house with my wife, but you're the only one that's on my mind.
Tyrone, that's it. I've made my decision.
What decision?
I'm gonna move to Wyoming so I can be close to you.
You're gonna do what now?
Don't worry. Of course I'll choose where I move wisely so as not to arouse any suspicion from your wife. I just want to be near you, baby. That's all. I know this might sound sudden, but actually, it's been on my mind for a little while. I promise I'll take in your opinion and do it as cautiously as possible. Luckily, I work from home as a freelancer. I figure what's the point in having such a flexible job if I'm not going to use it to be with the most special man in the whole wide world?
Vicky, you do that? For me?
I'd walk to the ends of the earth and back for you, my snugglebug cupcake. I love you.
I love you, my cuddle bunny boo.
Hey, Tyrone. Turns out I'm going to be doing a spot of overtime today. Sorry, but I'm not going to be able to make your supper. There are some leftover cheesy potatoes in the fridge, or you could make something yourself. Or maybe even get takeout if you're not feeling up to it. Hey, what's with you? I can see you read my messages. You could at least say okay or react in some way. Why are you ignoring me? You've always had a tendency to ignore me when you get in a mood about something. Sometimes you even ignore me for 1 or 2 days at a time. Hasn't it been going on a little too long this time? You've been ignoring me ever since you got back from Michigan. It's been a whole month now. Like, are you seriously doing this? You are aware of what you're doing, right? I know there's no way you're not. I haven't heard a single word out of you since you walked through the front door. Not even a, honey, I'm home. Not to mention completely blanking my messages. I have absolutely no idea what I've done to upset you this time. If I've done something wrong, then tell me and let's talk it through. It's not like I'm not willing to admit fault if I did something, but it's impossible for me to know if you don't say anything. Can't you at least explain what's wrong?
Aha, my strategy's working.
Ooh, what strategy? Tell me.
My strategy to mentally and emotionally exhaust my wife by flat out ignoring her. The plan is to drive her to the breaking point until she gets so sick of it all, she divorces me.
You are absolutely devilish, Tyrone. The things we do for love. It sounds like it's going well.
Yup, everything is going according to plan. It looks like the soul-crushing sense of guilt is already starting to torment her.
Good. That's what she gets for stealing my man from me. I don't think we're doing anything bad. Our happiness is what comes first, after all, right?
If we're gonna frame it in terms of right and wrong, my wife's definitely the one in the wrong for not divorcing me earlier and forcing me to resort to strategies to make her hurry up and take the hint. When you think about it, she's kind of like the final boss in the way of our love.
You're right.
It's going to take a little bit longer to get rid of her for good, but this is where our patience counts more than ever. The finish line's in sight, baby, so let's play this as safe as we possibly can.
Sure thing, baby. You're my heartthrob, and I'd do anything for you. Oh, that reminds me. It looks like I'm going to be able to move over to Wyoming at the beginning of next month.
Aha, nice. You work fast.
Well, I don't know about that. It did take me a whole month to decide on the place, but I figured since me and you are gonna end up living together there soon enough, I had to make sure it was nice. Want to know a little secret? I ordered us the biggest, most luxurious double bed money can buy. I can't wait for you to ravage me on it, stud muffin.
Stop it, babe. You're gonna get me all excited. I'm gonna make sweet, tender love to you like you've never been loved before when I finally see you again, my sexy little munchkin.
Calm down, stallion. It's still too early.
I can't take it anymore. Are you free to meet up this weekend?
Huh?
I'll be going into work on my day off this Saturday. I have a meeting with a customer a little out of town, which means I'll be driving for a while. How about me and you arrange a little rendezvous while I'm at it? By my calculations, I'll have 2 hours before I need to get back. What do you say, Vicky? How about a little secret encounter?
Oh my, Tyrone, you're terrible. Say no more. I'll be waiting for you, Daddy. Tyrone, will you be late home again today? You know what? I don't even know why I bother asking. You're clearly just going to keep ignoring me. I did hear you were expecting a lot of overtime for the first month or two after you got back from your work transfer in Michigan, but I hardly even see you at home these days. I don't know if it's because you're intentionally coming home after you know I'll be asleep to avoid me, but this isn't normal. I barely ever see you. You flat out blank me on the rare occasion that I do, and you completely ignore all of my messages. If you hate me that much, how about you say it to my face instead of escaping like a spineless little weasel? I am beyond sick of this, Tyrone. I won't put up with it for much longer. I have some things to take care of at my mom and dad's place, so I'll be staying there tonight. Goodbye.
Hey there, my cuddly little cupcake.
Hey, Tyrone. You finished with your overtime now?
Yep, all done. I'm on my way to you as we speak.
I just finished work, too.
Oh, by the way, do you mind if I stay over at your place tonight?
Don't be silly, baby. You know you're always welcome here. But what about your wife?
She said something about staying over at her parents' place tonight, so she won't be around at the house to know I'm not home.
Wow, really?
That's why you're all mine tonight. I hope you're ready, because you're barely going to be able to walk by the time I'm done with ya, pumpkin pie.
Oh, baby, that's music to my ears. I'm going to jump in the shower. I'll be waiting on the bed for you in my special bunny lingerie when you get here, my rugged love muffin.
I'm sprinting over to your place so fast, they're going to start calling me Usain Bolt.
So her name is Vicky, is it? A freelance manga translator on a middling income. You met her when you were living in Michigan for work. She was your next-door neighbor in the apartment block your company had you stay in. Apparently you were pretty much living together by the time you had to come back here. And now, apparently unaware to bear being apart from you, Vicky moved here to Wyoming in a little apartment near Bakewell Station, which is where your trysts now exclusively take place, including the one you're having right now.
Huh? Wait a sec, what the?
The reason you've been flat out ignoring me for so long was because it was a strategy to push me to my emotional breaking point until I got so exhausted with it all, I felt like I had no choice but to divorce you. That's what you're waiting for, isn't it? I think that just about summarizes the situation, right? Did I miss anything?
Sarah?
I guess you were trying to avoid having to pay me compensation?
I ain't got no heckin' idea what you're talking about. Sure, I think maybe I do remember there being a Vicky next door back in Michigan, but we didn't have anything to do with each other beyond being neighbors, and we sure as hell don't see each other now.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to tell you this, what with being constantly ignored all the time, but I got transferred to the pharmacy by Bakewell Station about a month ago.
Huh?
It turns out I can see the road that leads to Vicky's apartment through the front window.
You can?
When I first saw you together, I thought maybe she was one of your clients because I know you often do the rounds away from the office, but by the third or fourth sighting, I knew something fishy was going on. Then one day, when my mind was full of doubts, I saw the two of you walking by just as I was getting off work, so I decided to go ninja mode and follow you.
You followed us?
That was when I saw you going into her apartment together. I don't think I've ever seen you go inside a front door that fast in my life. Looking forward to something, were you?
I...
That was about a month and a half ago. I was pretty damn certain you were cheating on me by that point, but after speaking to my parents and brother, they recommended I gathered incontrovertible proof of what you were doing before confronting you. And that's when I decided to hire a private investigator who specializes in catching cheaters.
You hired a frickin' private investigator?
Everything I just sent you was from the investigation results report. Turns out he's very good at his job.
Oh my God. Hey, this isn't fair. I did my best to come up with a way we could divorce smoothly and painlessly, God damn it. You hired a freaking professional? I can't believe you.
Isn't it normal to hire a private investigator when you suspect your husband of cheating on you? Evidence is important, and I wasn't about to risk letting you know I knew by trying to tail you myself. Anyway, divorce smoothly and painlessly? What the hell's that supposed to mean? Don't act like you cared about not hurting me. This was nothing but a ploy to get me to divorce you while hiding your affair to get out of paying me compensation.
Well, I...
Whatever. It doesn't matter now. So if I were you, I wouldn't even bother wasting the effort it takes to try and worm your way out of it. We're getting a divorce, and that's that.
What?
By the way, have you noticed yet? Today marks the 3rd month of you flat out ignoring me.
Wow. 3 months.
I guess you got so wrapped up in your affair, you totally lost track of time. Anyway, don't worry, because you finally got your wish. I'm divorcing you.
Hang on a sec here, Sarah, please.
I already moved back in with my parents.
Whoa. Say what now? This is all happening too fast.
Is that so? I didn't exactly move yesterday, Tyrone. I had all my stuff moved from the house when I found out you were cheating on me a month ago. I haven't been there for ages now.
Huh? Your stuff is gone?
Were you so absorbed in your affair you didn't notice half of the rooms in our house were empty?
Well...
Whatever, it really doesn't matter anymore. Goodbye forever.
What the fuck? Wait a sec! Holy hell. Am I really this screwed?
Tyrone! What is happening? What's this weird envelope that showed up in my mailbox? I thought it must be a case of mistaken identity, but when I opened it, it said I have to pay a frickin' compensation?
Vicky, it's my wife. She found out about us. She knows everything.
What? How?
She told me she saw us going into your apartment a month ago. You know, not long after you moved in there. God damn it, I'm so screwed.
You're screwed? No, I'm screwed. But wait a second, how is this possible? We were so careful. We picked the place by Bakewell Station intentionally because it was so far away from anywhere your wife goes. We literally couldn't have been more careful. How could she possibly know? And this quickly? Something doesn't add up here. Explain.
You know my wife's a pharmacist, right? Well, she got transferred to the pharmacy by Bakewell Station recently.
Huh?
Apparently she saw us because the road that leads to your apartment is right in front of the front window of the pharmacy. She had a full view of us walking by together every time. That's what she told me just now.
Oh my god! You better be freaking joking me, Tyrone. If this isn't all some kind of weird prank, I am seriously gonna lose my head. Do you have any idea how much money I spent to move here to be with you? I am flat out broke now. There is no way I can afford to pay compensation.
But, think about it, baby. It's not so bad. Sure, we might end up having to pay her a little something, but at least she's finally divorcing me now. This is what we've been waiting for all along, right? Surely the compensation is a small price to pay for our love.
That having to pay her a little something is exactly what we were so careful to try and avoid all this time, you doofus. And it's not a small price. She's demanding a freaking arm and a leg here.
Hey, don't call me that. I mean, sure, things didn't exactly go as we planned, but at least we still have each other, right?
We're finished.
What?
I said we're finished. Me and you are through, so you can pay my share of the compensation.
What the hell? Are you being serious right now? You're just gonna dodge responsibility the moment things get tough?
We're not together anymore, so I don't have any responsibility to you.
No, we're not finished.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not!
I am absolutely not paying a single cent of this goddamn compensation, you low-life jerk. As our two former lovers were locked in a bitter feud, both of their parents paid me their share of the compensation in a lump sum on their behalves, promising to make their wayward children pay them it all back. With that, I filed the divorce papers and things finally calmed down. It felt great to finally wash my hands of the waste of space known as Tyrone, whom I allowed to steal so many years of my life, and I breathed a sigh of relief knowing I'd never have to deal with him ever again. From that point onwards, nothing that happened to him was my problem. Amazingly, I found out later on that his ex-lover Vicky got fired from her job. I guess it's only natural her boss was a little pissed off when he found out she'd been using their company car for her secret trysts with my ex-husband. Word is, it was the stains on the back seat that gave them away. Last I hear, they're both working several part-time jobs to come up with the crazy amounts of debt they owe their parents. As for Vicky, she got so absorbed in the affair that she started neglecting her freelance work, which meant her income took a massive hit. Still, that doesn't change the fact that she had to pay her parents back. Feeling lost and desperate, she felt she had no choice but to turn to nighttime work. Apparently these days, she spends her evenings on street corners waiting for seedy old men to pick her up. Thanks for watching, folks! We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to help the channel out by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time. Christy, are you there? Did the wedding invite arrive yet? You didn't get back to me on whether you'd be coming or not, so I had no choice but to message you. Huh? What the? Listen to me, Mel. I already made it perfectly clear I had no intention of coming from the get-go, didn't I? Why would you go out of your way to send an invite when you already knew what the answer was? Wow, what am I even reading? This is your own brother's wedding we're talking about here. Of course you're coming. What about your duty to your family? What with the both of your parents having passed away, you'd be the only member of Kyle's family there. Are you really going to let him be all on his own like this? Don't you feel bad for your little brother? I don't need to be lectured about not coming to the wedding by the person who made me want to not come to the wedding in the first place. Besides, Kyle won't be on his own. He'll have you, your family, and his friends there with him. Huh? How did I make you not want to come to the wedding? What are you even talking about? Did you really think I didn't know? Oh, I know what this is about. Being a high school dropout really bothers you, doesn't it, Kirsty? Huh? It's fine, babe. You don't need to worry about that. It's a triviality. Anyway, we don't need you to have brains. Me and Kyle graduated university with flying colors after all, so we've got the intellect and achievement bases covered. Most of my family graduated university too. I totally get why you might feel ashamed and embarrassed about being a high school dropout, but honestly, you don't need to. We're not judging you for it, I promise. We're open-minded and accept people from all walks of life and backgrounds. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that settles it. I'll put you down on the attending list. You can put me on whatever list you like. The bottom line is I'm not coming, and that's final. Yeah, whatever. Quit fooling me around already, Kirsty. You're obviously going to be there to support your little brother. Wow, you seriously don't get it, do you? Have you even realized why I don't want to come in the first place, or did it go straight over your head? Or are you doing this on purpose to tick me off? Yeah, whatever. Ugh, would you quit being so immature already? Anyway, you can say whatever you like. I'm not coming, and that's that. I amaze myself with how clever I am sometimes. It's no surprise I graduated university with brains like these. What are you talking about? I successfully switched jobs to something with better prospects and better pay. You switched jobs? Let's just say some things happened at my old job and I had to quit. I knew me and Kyle would be moving to a different town after the wedding anyway, so I figured I'd use me leaving the old place to find something more local with a more convenient commute. And guess what? A major global company just made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm the best. I doubt a high school dropout like you could ever accomplish anything like this. Wow, really? You actually got an offer that fast? You have no idea how hectic it was to find time to fit the interview in with the preparations for the wedding. I felt like I was barely getting time to eat, but boy, am I glad I went. I take it you changed your plans to become a full-time stay-at-home housewife then. Huh? I heard about you bragging to everyone about how you were going to quit your job when you got married because my brother Kyle's filthy rich due to being a top executive at one of America's most prestigious donut companies. That was... Oh, it's fine, Mel. You don't have to try and hide it or make excuses. I already know the reason. Huh? Anyway, I need to head back to work now, so... yeah, bye. I'm not sure I like your tone, Kirsty. This isn't over. Oh, and before I go, I know you can be slow and forgetful what with being a high school dropout and all, so allow me to remind you one more time. You are absolutely, positively, definitely, incontrovertibly, without a shadow of a doubt, coming to our wedding next month. And don't you forget it. It's gonna be a blast, and we wouldn't dream of celebrating without you there to share in our joy. Sis? Hello? The wedding's about to start, you know. Hurry up and get your ass down here. What are you talking about? Like I need to spell it out. Mine and Kyle's wedding is about to start, doofus. Oh, was that today? What? Of course it's today, and you know it. Quit playing dumb. I know you left the house wearing your best clothes this morning, so don't even try to hide it. That reminds me, I heard you moved into one of those apartments that was for sale in my neighborhood. I'm guessing that's how you appear to have been tracking my whereabouts. Jeez, you know, Mel, I was hoping you'd move as far away from me as humanly possible so I'd never have to deal with you again. But you had to go and move in practically next door to me, huh? Hey, wait a sec. No way. Did you get the wedding venue wrong? Huh? The wedding venue. Do you actually know where it is? We're doing it with a company called Matrimonial Magic Makers at their main wedding hall on 5th Street. Matrimonial Magic Makers? Oh, wow, I see. I'm guessing from your response. I knew it. Did you mix up the venue for your own brother's wedding? I guess it can't be helped. I should have written the invite in crayon so even a high school dropout like you could understand it. I'm pretty sure I already made this clear, but I had no intention of coming to the wedding to begin with, so there was no need for me to check where it was being held. Huh? I never planned on coming, so why would I waste my time? Waste your time? Mine and your brother's wedding is not a waste of time. I didn't bother to look at the date either. I'm at work today and I have a bunch of meetings with several important clients. That's the only reason I'm dressed especially smartly. Gotta make sure I leave a good impression, you know? Oh my God, are you serious? Hang on a sec, were you trying to pull a trick on me by intentionally writing the wrong wedding venue on my invite so I'd show up at the wrong place? You wouldn't do something so childish, would you, Mel? No way! I hit the nail on the head, huh? But now that I think about it, if you're getting married today, I take it you'll be absent from the new employee training session today then? What the hell? Today was supposed to be your first day at your new job, wasn't it? We generally train up new employees for the week before they officially start. But since you got hired outside of our usual hiring season, the plan was to train you up officially starting from your first day, today. You were made aware of the schedule over text and email, Mel. There was no reason you couldn't have let us know you wouldn't be able to make it. But it's a Sunday today! Well, the industry we work in isn't as subject to the weekday-weekend cycle as most others, which means a good chunk of our departments run just like normal on Sundays. What? It just so happens that your department is one of the many that work weekends. This, in combination with the fact that you were made aware you were supposed to be here, means there's no excuse for your absence. My coworker, the guy in charge of providing the newbie training, just sent me a message. The training course for our midterm recruitment newbies starts today. Can you believe one of them didn't show up on her very first day? Geez, Kirsty, where do we find these people? I won't send what came after that, but needless to say, he is furious. I think I did get some kind of training schedule over mail. Wait, are you telling me that was actually the schedule? I thought the part where it said I was in today was a mistake. If you thought it was a mistake, why didn't you make an inquiry? Surely that would have been the reasonable thing to do in this situation. 'Cause who the hell works on a Sunday? I figured it must have meant Monday, so I just ignored it. I was ready to come in tomorrow. Would you mind bearing with me for a little while, Mel? Thanks. I just checked with my coworker, and it turns out your shift today most definitely wasn't a data entry mistake. Huh? How the hell would you know that? Because my boss received a copy of the same training schedule that was sent out to all the newbies, and he just showed it to me. Huh? There are about half a dozen newbies starting today, and a few of them are going to be assigned to my department, which means my boss has access to all of the relevant materials. Wait, what the... Hang on a sec. Your boss? I thought you seemed weirdly knowledgeable about the inner workings of the company. Hang on, are you... Yep, bingo. I take it the penny finally dropped then? I work as a full-time employee at the company you received a provisional offer at. Oh my god, are you serious? Don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing to do with HR. Which means I was astonished when I found out my little brother's soon-to-be wife just got assigned to my department. Anyway, we'll have to get this situation sorted out soon. What's it gonna be, Mel? What do you mean? Whether you go through with your wedding is, of course, entirely up to you, but you should know it'll mean going down on the system as an absence without notification on your first day of work, no less. Basically, it's going to mean you failed to attend the first day of your mandatory employee training course without good reason, and since the offer you received was provisional, is all but guaranteed to mean your chances of getting a full-time contract are pretty much zero. I won't fall for this. I know you're trying to trick me. Excuse me? Trick you? It's so obvious. I can read you like a book. This is clearly nothing but a huge crock of bullshit you cooked up in desperation to avoid the shame and embarrassment of admitting you got the venue for your own brother's wedding wrong. This is why you can't trust a high school dropout with anything. Oh, you're free to interpret this whole situation like that if it makes you feel better, but I think you're aware of how ridiculous the situation that I'd make something like this up is, Mel. No, it makes perfect sense. Anyway, this is your fault for not giving mine and your brother's wedding your blessing in the first place. If you would have just fulfilled your goddamn duty as his sister to begin with, none of this would be happening. How exactly do you work that one out? Your wedding and today's newbie training have nothing to do with each other. Even if I had gone to the wedding, you would have still been expected to be in today as long as you didn't inquire about your misunderstanding over which day it was on. So why won't you come to the wedding? You're the only family Kyle has left now that your parents are dead. Are you really gonna make me explain it to you? Yes, because none of this makes any frickin' sense. For real. Like, are you being serious right now? Whatever. You know what? It seems like you genuinely don't understand. Fine, it can't be helped. My brother Kyle was originally engaged to Michaela, your older sister, right? But you stole him from her by having an affair with him behind her back. So what? What's your point? Me and Kyle love each other, and that's all that matters. Who are you to try and stand in our way by dragging up the past like this? I'm not holding the fact you and my brother developed feelings for each other against you. It was the letting it develop into a full-blown affair while he was still engaged part that was despicable. Any decent human being would have waited until he'd broken off the engagement, or simply let go if he wasn't willing to. Huh? Naturally, I think you're despicable after demonstrating your absolute lack of virtue and moral fiber by tempting my brother into having an affair with you when you knew full well he was engaged to your sister. But I am also disgusted with my brother for meeting you halfway. If he has half a spine or a modicum of decency in him, he would have told you where to stick your seedy solicitations faster than you could say seedy two-bit whore. Which is why I was obviously never going to show up to the wedding, and to be honest, why I never want anything to do with either of you again for as long as I live. Besides, I already said all of this to Kyle. He knows I despise him and was never under any illusion I'd be at the wedding. So it genuinely baffles me that you didn't seem to get the message. Huh? You see, Kyle and I lost our parents in a traffic accident when I was still in high school. He was still in elementary school at the time, so I had no choice but to drop out so I could take care of him. I gave my everything to give him the best shot I possibly could at making something of his life. And how did he repay me? By coldly betraying your sister, one of the loveliest, most kind-hearted people I know, in the cruelest, most hurtful way possible. Huh? Anyway, Mel, it's time to make a decision. What's it going to be? Shall we go with an unpermitted absence from your first day at work and the beginning of your training course? Hello? Are you there? Why isn't there anybody here? Huh? I was messaging you in the bride's waiting room this whole time. I could hear some noise coming from the main hall around 20 minutes ago, but it was distracting me from our conversation, so I just locked the door and carried on talking to you. But I just got a message from Kyle saying nobody showed up to the wedding. Forget my friends, even my family and relatives didn't bother showing up. Where is everyone? Oh, I see. I wondered why you suddenly stopped replying. How would I know why no one showed up at your wedding? I didn't even know where it was being held or which day it was on, remember? But this makes no sense. There were supposed to be at least 30 people coming. And did you receive return letters confirming their attendance after sending out invites to all 30 of them? Of course I did. Like I'd forget something so simple. What the hell do you take me for? I see. Well, in that case, and this is just speculation, but is it possible they all agreed to cancel at the last minute behind your back? What? Why the heck would they do something like that? That's crazy. I won't say exactly who I heard this from. Let's just say it was a friend's brother's dog. But the word on the street is that you've always had a habit of stealing other women's boyfriends, and that you're not exactly the most popular girl in town, even among the people you call friends. Apparently everyone's been pretty cold towards Kyle since word got out he cheated on your sister with... Listen, Mel, I didn't come up with this. I'm just passing on the message, but apparently their nickname for you is the Town Whore. Oh my god, that's my nickname? And none of them showed up to my wedding? Ugh, this can't be happening. So yeah, I'm just speculating, but based on what I've heard, I'd say that's a pretty likely explanation for your current situation, wouldn't you? But I could always be wrong. There are other possibilities. So you really should get some confirmation before you go off and do anything rash. Oh my god, does everyone really hate me that much? This can't be happening. I was supposed to have a fairy tale wedding. About an hour after our last message, a woman in a wedding dress barged past security and sprinted up the stairs to our office as if she was possessed by some kind of demonic spirit. Needless to say, the police were called. The sight of Mel yelling, "I'm here for my training!" at the top of her lungs while being restrained by the slightly embarrassed security guard she blitzed past like a whirlwind only a minute before was one I'll never forget. It turned out my theory about the wedding guests plotting to cancel on Mel and my brother at the last minute was right on the mark. Apparently realizing they were no longer going to get any wedding gifts, they canceled the wedding and incurred a massive same-day cancellation fee. That, in combination with the compensation they both already owed Mel's older sister for the affair, must have been why Mel was so desperate not to lose her new job. She was so desperate, in fact, that she completely forgot to get changed and showed up at the office flailing around like an escaped mental patient in a wedding dress. Naturally, everyone at the company was mortified by the bizarre spectacle unfolding before their eyes, and she was fired right then and there. As for Kyle, he quit the same week, unable to bear now being the butt of every joke and the subject of every hushed conversation in the cafeteria. Last I hear, Mel and Kyle are currently spending their days in a cheap cockroach-infested apartment in the rough part of town while working like dogs to pay off their exorbitant debts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.